Namaste and good morning to all of you. Let's start our Saturday class, Vivekachudamani, with some prayers. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parbrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhavaswaha, Tatsavitra Varenayam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Diyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Asto ma satgamya, tamso ma jyotirgamya, mrityorma amritam gamya. Om sehna vavatu, sehna bhunaktu, seviryam karvavahi, tejasvi navadhitamastu, ma vidvishavahi. Om shanti shanti shanti. We are approaching the end of Vivekachudamani, and we have been learning how this disciple, after listening to the Guru, going to the practices, reaching to that highest state, that's Samadhi. And then he's trying to just go over his experiences for us. As we know, this experience of the infinite cannot be put into the finite words. So that's why sometimes we think he's repeating, sometimes we think he's blabbering. But still we can get a glimpse of it, what he's feeling. So we ended our class with verse number 512, where student is saying, let there be modifications in Prakriti in 10, 100 or 1,000 ways. What I have unattached, knowledge absolute, got to do with them. It's almost like a question. He says, what do I have to do with them? All the modifications in the Prakriti. The clouds can never touch the sky. So with the help of this beautiful analogy, he's telling us that self, the Atma, the soul, is untouched by it. It can never be touched by the Prakriti. When we think that we are touched, actually it's our ego which is being touched, not the Shuddha Buddha Atma. Okay, so let's see what else he says in 5:13. In your books, it could be 5:12. Avyaktadi sathul prayantam etat vishwam yatra abhas matram pratitam vyom prakhyam suksham adi antahinam brahm advaitmam yat tat ev aham asmi. And we'll see that last line gets repeated or several times in several verses. So, avyakta adi, from the unmanifest. See, vyakt is the manifest, avyakt is unmanifest. Sathul paryantam, down to the gross. Etat, that. Vishwam, the universe. Yatra, where. Abhas matram, merely as a shadow. Pratitam appears. Vyom prakhyam, like the sky. So vyom is the sky. Sukshmam, subtle. Adi antahinam, without beginning and end. Brahma, that's absolute. Advaitam, non-dual. Yat means that which. Tat, that. Ev, alone. Aham, I. Asmi, am. That in which the entire universe, from the unmanifest down to the gross, appears as but a shadow, which is like the sky, subtle and without beginning and end. Indeed, that non-dual Brahma I am. Up until now, the student was talking in terms of what he is not. So that's almost like a negative language of our familiar experiences. But now he knows. So he can stretch his intellect into the unknown. So that's why he is giving us the positive, in the positive language, he is explaining what he is experiencing. So what he is, that's what he is explaining. So it's like a wisdom of reality, which is not known to most of us. This great student is pointing it to us. At least we should use our intellect and make an attempt to stretch towards it. So that's what's called the stretching your awareness. It's almost like if I meet somebody and I keep on telling them, I'm not this, I'm not that. I am not my sister, I'm not my brother, I don't live there. The person who is standing next to me will not get satisfied. So that's why the positive is needed too. And that's why the student is giving us the positive pointers towards this infinite. So he is almost hooking his experience of the infinite to our known experiences. He says, whatever it is that I am, yat tat ev aham asmi. That I am. And that is Brahma. All this unmanifest, all this gross, everything has come out of it. He says the universe is only a projection rising out of imagination. That is a abhas matra. It's only a abhas. It's not real. The reality, the Brahma, is the substratum upon which all these imaginations have been projected. That reality am I. So reality, who we are, in essence, is infinite. It's all pervading. It's everywhere. It is without beginning and without an end. Anant, anadi. Then he gives us an example like space. It's extremely subtle. We really cannot see it because only the manifest can be seen with these eyes. It's unmanifested. So that great reality, that non-dual Brahma, I am. Another verse, next one, 5:14. Sarva adharam, sarva vastu prakasham, sarvakaram, sarvagam, sarvashunyam, nityam shuddham, nischalam, nirvikalpam, brahma advaitvam, yat tat ev aham asmi. Sarva adharam. Adhar is a support. So the support of all, sarva. Sarva vastu prakasham, illuminator of all things. Sarv akaram. Akar is a form of all forms. Sarvagam, omnipresent. Sarvashunyam, devoid of all multiplicity. Nityam, eternal. Shuddham, pure. Nishchalam, motionless. Nirvikalpam, free from modifications, changes. And the last line is the same as the previous one. Brahma advaitvam, non-dual. Yat, which is tat, that. Ev, alone. Aham asmi, I am. That which is the support of all. Which is the illuminator of all things. Which is of all forms. Which is omnipresent. Devoid of multiplicity. That means you cannot divide it. Multiplicity. All this polarity and multiplicity which we see, that is in the Prakriti. Eternal, pure, motionless, and absolute indeed, that non-dual Brahma I am. Okay. So this Adhar word is the substratum. And what is a substratum? That without which things have no existence. See, substratum of us is what? Atma. And that's what it's talking about. All the things made out of clay, substratum is the clay, whether it's a pot or whether it's a vase or whether it's anything else. Substratum of all gold ornaments is what? Gold. Without gold, they cannot exist. So for the universe, it is Brahma. It is Sarv Adhar. And Sarva Vastu Prakasham, illuminator of all. So that means it illumines all forms through the eyes, through the ears. See, ears, sounds come, but who is helping the ears so that sound can reach? Is the Brahma, Atma. Smells through the nose, taste through the tongue, touch through the skin. See, all our senses cannot function without Brahma. And even the feeling through the mind, or even decision making cannot be done through the intellect without the Atma. So all forms are its own. It is the cause for this entire universe. So another way you can say that the infinite in its grossification has become the plant life, the stone life, the animal life, the human life. So this is a grossification of that subtle reality. So when he says all forms, sarv akaram, that's what he means. Not just the human beings, any kind of a form is because of a Brahma. It is all pervading. So devoid of polarity. So there is no second to this. It is only one, all pervading. So these are the expressions of the eternal unconditioned Brahma. It is pure, uncontaminated by the body, mind, and intellect, etc. And it's motionless. See, motionless in the sense something can move to that place where it's not. My body is sitting over here. It can move away because I'm not, my body is not there. But Brahma is everywhere. And since Atma is part of Brahma, it's everywhere too. So when something is everywhere, it cannot move anywhere, motionless. But at the same time, everything moves in it. So that means that all the polarity or the multiplicity, everything is moving in this. So it has no movement, it is absolute, it's beyond all modifications. And the absolute Brahma, whatever it be, that I am. There's no difference between me and this is what this student is experiencing. So these words are coming out of experience from the mouth of this great disciple. Let's look at next one. Yat paryast ashesha maya vishesham pratyak rupam pratye agamyamanam satya gyan anantam anand rupam brahm advaitam yat tat ev aham asmi. Yat means that which pratyast transcends, ashesh endless, maya vishesham differentiations of maya, illusion. So transcends the endless differentiations of illusion, the maya. Pratyak rupam, the inmost essence. pratyay, the mind. Agamyamanam can't be reached. Agamya. See, gamya means reaching, agamya means cannot be reached. Satya Gyan Anandam, truth, knowledge, endless. So Satya is the truth, Gyan is the knowledge, Anantam, endless. Ananda Rupam, of the nature of the bliss. And last line, the repetition, Brahm, Advaitam, non-dual, Yat means which, Tat that, Ev alone, Aham Asmi, I am. That which transcends the endless differentiations of Maya. Okay, so Maya has many roots, many combination, permutation you can do in Maya. But that which transcends the endless differentiations of Maya, which is the subjective essence in all, which is beyond the range of consciousness, which is of the nature of truth, knowledge and endless bliss, indeed that non-dual Brahm I am. So all the pluralistic misconceptions are the creations of Maya. Maya pratitaha dvetaha bhavanaha. When reality is experienced subjectively, all these misconceptions end. And this is what this student is going through. Because he is experiencing the reality subjectively. That's why all the misconceptions have ended. And from that experience, he's talking. Reality can never be understood by properties because it's beyond property. Properties are only part of the Maya. Satvikta, Rajsikta, Tamsikta. That's what I'm talking about. That which has properties can be understood through the body, mind, intellect. But this is beyond that. Because if Atma becomes perceptible, if we can see Atma, or if we can say that Atma has a form, then it becomes an object of cognition. And Atma is not that. Atma is the subject because of which we are able to cognize things. Atma is that. Just like electricity is the power by which the bulb can illumine, or the refrigerator can give us the coolness. We cannot see the electricity. The essence in me, the Atma, because of that I know everything, I can never be an object. It is eternal, pure consciousness. That's why it's called endless bliss. Non-dual, alone, I am. Next one, 516. Nishkriya asmi, avikara asmi, nishkalaha asmi, nirakriti, nirvikalpaha asmi, nitya asmi, niralambha asmi, nirdavya. Nishkriya. Kriya means activity. So devoid of activity. Asmi, I am. Avikaraha, devoid of modifications. I am. Nishkal, devoid of parts. Kal means parts. Asmi, I am. Nirakriti, devoid of form. Nirvikalpaha, free from changes. Asmi, I am. Nitya, eternal. Again, Asmi, I am. Nir alambha, devoid of any support. Alam. Nirdvaya, free from duality. I am devoid of activity. I am not a doer. Modifications, parts and forms. So that means I'm devoid of all these. And what I am absolute and eternal with no other support. And non-dual I am. So Brahm or Atma, see, just like a Brahm sports the whole universe, Atma is sporting our universe. Because there's a microcosm and there's a macrocosm. So Atma being part of Brahm is supporting my creation. So this is what he's trying to tell us. And there's no other support, there's nobody else who is supporting the Brahma. That's what Lord Krishna said in Gita, there's nothing higher than me. Till now, the student is saying, because of my identification with the body, whether it was a grosser body or the subtle body or a causal body, I thought that was my nature. That's what I was. But now I have realized the self, the soul, I have become of the nature of the self. Now I can see that my identification with the Brahma has ended my identification with the Maya. Because when we identify ourselves with the body or the mind or other equipments, we don't have any idea about the Brahma. He says, I am the self from which they draw their nature and nourishment and perform actions. The hands are performing the action, feet are performing their action, mouth is performing its action, eyes, ears, rest of it too. But it's all because of the Atma. That self never ends. And that non-dual Brahma alone I am. Let's look at next one. Sarv Atmakaha Aham Sarva Aham Sarv Atita Aham Advayaha Keval Akhand Bodhaha Aham Ananda Aham Nirantraha. Sarv Atmaka, self of all. Aham, I am. Sarvaha, all. Aham, I am. Sarv Atitaha, transcendental. Aham, I am. Advaya, non-dual. Keval Akhand Bodhaha, absolute indivisible knowledge. Keval means absolute, akhand, which cannot be broken, so indivisible. And both is the knowledge. Aham, I am. Anandaha, bliss. Aham, I am. Nirantaraha, eternal. Nirantar. I am the universal. I am all in all. I am transcendent and non-dual. I am absolute, unbroken knowledge. I am bliss and eternal I am. So what he's saying again, which he has mentioned in the previous verses also, he says, I am the one self everywhere. No difference between me and the Brahma. The universal I am. Names and forms are nothing but me. At the same time as the absolute, I transcend them all also. Unbroken, objectless awareness I am. There are no distinctions in me. See, we look at distinctions, my eyes and my ears, my arms and my legs. Those are distinctions. The happiness that we know today is only an interval between the sorrows and some fleeting joys. But there's no sorrow in the realm of this kind of experience. That's why he says it's absolute, unbroken bliss. Keval akhand bodh aham anando aham nirantaraha. That bliss is not a relative experience. It's absolute, it's beyond. And that Brahm I am. In the next verse, he continues explaining his experience to us. What I see from this explanation is that we should get encouraged to double up our sadhana. We are all looking for that bliss, that happiness, but we are looking at the wrong place. We are looking at the temporary happiness. This is eternal bliss. If this student has received it, and there's no difference between me and him, why can't I do it? If he's saying that we are all Brahma, and there's no lower Brahma and higher Brahma, we got to just through the practice get rid of this illusion. So we should feel encouraged. Swarajye samrajye he vibhuti eshaha bhavat kripaha shri mahima prasad praptaha meya shri guruve mahatmane namaha namaste astu punha namah astu. So in this verse, he is showing his gratitude to his guru. Swarajye hai, own kingdom. Swa means own. Rajya, kingdom. Samarajya, sovereignty. Vibhuti. Vibhuti is like a something which is so radiant, almost like a grandeur, they call it. Eshaha, this bhavat kripa, by your grace. Shri mahim, glory of knowledge. Prasadat, because of your grace. Praptaha has been gained. Maya, by me. Shri Guruve. O noble Guru, O noble teacher. Mahatmane, the great one. Namaha, salutations. Namaste, salutations to you. Astu, may there be. Punha, again. Namaha, salutations. Astu, may there be. By the supreme majesty of your grace, I have gained the grandeur of the sovereignty of self-effulgence. O noble teacher, O noble Guru, salutations to you. Again and again. Punar namo astu, again and again. And this is exactly what we saw in Bhagavad Gita when Arjuna, with the grace of Lord Krishna, saw that his eternal form, okay, vibhutis, first vibhutis, then he could see the vibhutis also. He could see God everywhere. He said, I prostrate, I do the salutations to you from the front also, from the back also, from this side, from that side, again and again. So these two terms, Swarajya and Samrajya. Swarajya is when we have conquered our lower self, We become a king of our own senses and the mind. Swarajya. And Samrajya is a mastery over the external world of objects. So mastery over my own lower self is Swarajya. Mastery over the external world, that is a Samrajya. So freedom from the inner persecution is a Swarajya. Okay, own. So that means when my body, my mind, my intellect, they are in my control. I am not bothered by them. I am the master of them. But when the objects of the world also don't tempt me, they don't make me run after them. Person who is free from that outside temptations, that is called a samrat. No temptations, no desires, worldly desires. So it's like a master of yourself and master from the external world also. The glory of a mastery over one's self and that over the world around me, he says, has been gained by me. He doesn't say that with my effort, he says, by the grace of you, my Guru. By the sheer brilliance of the grace of the Guru, he says, I have gained the glory of the Swarajya and the Samarajya. He says, oh Guru, oh great Mahatma, see, Shri Guruve Mahatmane, to you my prostrations again and again. So he is expressing his gratitude towards the teacher who guided him. Sadhana he did, but he is not forgetting the guidance which the Guru gave, the questions which were answered by him. We saw that in the, see, this is like towards the end of the scripture. So 500 verses before that. So a couple of more verses spoken by this disciple. So let's do that and then we'll go through some question answers. Mahaswapne, this is verse number 519. Mahaswapne mayakrit jani jara mrityu gahne brahmantam klishyantam bahultar tape anudinam ahankar vyagra vyathitam imam atyant kripya prabodhye praswapat param avitman mam asi guru. Mahaswapne, in the great dream, Maya Krita, created by Maya, illusion. Jani, Jani means the births. So he's talking about many births we have taken. Jara, decay. Mrityu, deaths. Gahane, in this never ending. Brahmantam, wandering. Klishyantam, tormented. Bahul tar tape, by the innumerable afflictions. Anudinam, day after day. Ahankar, ego. Vyagra, tiger. Vyathitam, persecuted. Imam means this, atyant, extreme. Kripyaha, compassion. Prabodhye, having woken me up. Praswapat, from the deep sleep. Param avitvan, you have saved. Mam, me, asi. Guru, O teacher. Out of sheer grace, O Guru, you have awakened me from sleep and saved me. Who was roaming in a never-ending dream, in the forest of birth, decay, and death, created by illusion, and was tormented day after day by innumerable tribulations, all and greatly persecuted by the tiger of the ego. So it's like he's calling this life a mighty dream. He's mentioning the concepts of birth, growth, decay, disease, old age, and death. And this is all created by the Maya. And it has afflicting me day in and day out. I was confused and I was deluded. And I was choked by various persecutions. And day after day, I was just passing life after life. I was just going through it. And there was, it seemed like there was no escape from this terrible dream. But from all such a dream, you have woken me up. You shook me up. You woke me up. Oh Guru, to you my prostration again and again. He says the tiger of my ego was not letting me wake up. So ego is so strong. But he said, you saved me from that tiger of ego also. And now I'm woken up. And I'm thankful to you. Let's do one more last verse today, where student is speaking. And next week we'll see the words of advice, the final words of advice given by the Guru to this disciple and to us also. Namaha tasmai sada ekasmai kasmai chit mahase namaha yat etat vishavrupen rajate guru rajate. Namaha, salutations, tasmai, to you, sada, always. Ekasmai, to him who is one. Kasmai chit, to someone. Mahase, to the great one. Namaha, salutations. Yat means that which is, etat, this, Vishwarupen, as the entire universe. Rajate, abides. Guru Raj. Guru Raj is the king among the teachers. Te means to you. Salutations to you, O king among the teachers. So this student is saying that there are many teachers, but through me, you are it. You are the king for me. Who are indefinable greatness. So he's talking about that there are great teachers, but you are king among the other great teachers also. Who are over the same, who manifest as this entire universe. To you, my salutations. So what he's saying is that one infinite reality, which is the same everywhere, that has come in the form of a guru, and my namaskar to you. That means I don't see any difference between the guru and Brahma. To you, O Guru, you are reveling in the body, mind, intellect, but you are a Vishwarup for me. You are the Virat Roop, and my prostrations to you. So this is like a benediction. The student is expressing his adoration to the Guru. The Guru who initiated him into this Brahma Vidya. And the student got the unforgettable experience from these practices. So with this, we'll end our class, and next week we'll see what Guru is telling him and to us further. Om Purnamada Purnam Idam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaye Purnameva Vishishyate. Om Shanti 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 Om.